Example 3 from the 2014 MAV Practice Exam number 2. One year, the Wombat Creek Sports and Social Club has football teams playing at each of the 3 levels, firsts, seconds and thirds. Some players are promoted or dropped a level during the season and others are unavailable due to injury or return from injury. The number of players at each level each week is modelled by that particular matrix equation. We know that P2 is equal to 38, 53, and 29. How many players would be available at each level during the 3rd week? Well, we can go and put this into our CAS. So here's our matrix equation. I've just replaced the Pn with P2. This is going to tell us the 3rd week, where we've done the transition matrix times by P2, and then we've got this little sort of the plus B here with some weird negative numbers, and it gets us this number here. So 39 for firsts. We are assuming that it's in the order as described here, first, seconds, and thirds. So firsts, and it will be 56 seconds and 25 thirds in the week. Let's just call it week 3. Now here we go. How many players are available at level during week 1? We're going to go backwards. So if we're going to go backwards, we're going to have to do things backwards. So we were given a value for P2, which is this 38, 53, 29. So in order to get that value, there must have been a P1. So it would have been the transition matrix times by this P1, we don't know what it is, plus by this matrix we don't know about, that we do know about actually, plus this gets us our final answer of that 38, 53, and 29. So to find out what this mystery P1 is, we're going to have to do everything in reverse. In this step, we added this, as per the chapter title, I'm going to call that the B matrix, just the other matrix that we added. We added that. So you might remember in some of the earlier videos, I was talking about moving things from one side to the other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this to the right-hand side. And what I'm going to do is, it says plus B. The opposite of plus is minus. So I'm just going to make this, I'm just going to write T times P1 is equal to 38, 53, 29. Take away -2, 5, -3. And so when I get those numbers in, I'm going to get that one here. I'm going to minus this one here. That's going to get me 40, 48, and 32. So now I've got this transition matrix times by P1 is equal to this 40, 48, 32 here. So now what I need to do is I need to move this transition matrix to the right-hand side. So I can just have P1 equals, well, remember, I can't divide matrices. Aha! So I need to do the inverse. So I'm going to do the inverse of the transition matrix. And that will get us 40, 40, and 40. Well, that was very convenient. So there were 40 players available at each level. The club would like to retain the same number of players that they had at each level during week 2, which was this 38, 53, 29. So I'm just going to write that there so I can remember. It was 38, 53, 29. Yep. the -2, 5, and -3 represents the number of, that was the B matrix, represents the number of players lost or returned to injury at that level each week. Using the matrix X, Y, Z instead of -2, 5, and -3 will ensure that the numbers do not change after week 2. What are the values of X, Y, and Z? So what this question is saying is that if I've got the third week, so what did we call it? P3? Yes, we did. So we want P3 to be equal to the transition matrix times by P2 plus this matrix X, Y, Z. And we want it to equal the same thing as 38, 53, and 29. Okay. So, and in fact, we may as well, because that was P2, so we may as well fill this in as well. 38. 53, and 29. So we want the transition matrix multiplied by this number plus some mystery matrix is equal to this final answer. So what we're going to do is we may as well do this little multiplication for a start. Let's find out what T times 38, 53, and 29 actually is. So, well, in fact, what we can actually do is go back to our original one. So here's our original matrix from the very beginning. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little X, I'm going to put a Y, I'm going to put a little Z, like so. So what I've done is I've got the transition matrix, I've multiplied I'm going to multiply by 38, 53, and 29, and then we're going to add X, Y, and Z. And what I get here is I get X plus 41, Y plus 51, and Z plus 28. And we know that that's going to have to equal to 38, 53, and 29. So now all we need to do is we just need to solve for each of these. So some number plus 41 is equal to 38. Well, that would have to be X is equal to -3. Y plus 51 equals 53. So 51 plus something gets me 53. Well, Y is going to have to be equal to 2. And then for the Z's, 28 is equal to 29. So Z plus 28 equals 29. Z is equal to 1.